What is the origin of people's continued bearishness? By doing things in this manner, we are going to actually pump and never stop. This is not a practice set. Because it has been revealed that there is now a 97% possibility that the Federal Reserve will reduce interest rates by 25 basis points at their next meeting. This is a joke. A further reduction in interest rates by 50 basis points is not even a possibility, but that is irrelevant to you folks. What is important is that they continue to cut. There is a delay, which therefore has an effect on the markets, is that correct? Which will take some time, but once again, as long as they continue to cut, the markets will continue to pump, guys. Don't you think that's obvious? It is quite simple, which works for the time being. I have a strong belief in Bitcoin, and I will continue to be so regardless of what happens. Even if we see a dump, or even if we see the, in my opinion, it is irrelevant if the market is bullish in the short term, medium term, or extremely bullish. Then even they are looking at this only in $800 billion, according to the usual charger bank, in order to buy into a Bitcoin that has dropped below $60,000. Exactly. As a result, these individuals are making purchases at a rate that has never been seen before. And it appears that the underlying cause of this is now what causes the increasing trend of the parabolic rally. Guys, we are in need of inflows. A resumption of the increase in inflows is required. And there are a lot of incoming funds, right? Especially in light of the purchase of ETFs, it is now possible for this to occur as a result of the big wire firms going live with Bitcoin exchange-traded funds. So I'm going to say that I've heard that potential Q4 now. In the midst of this Bitcoin crisis, it appears that this is the case. 2 days ago, somebody bought Bitcoins worth $200 million on Binance. At the same time, Michael Dell sold equities worth $1.2 billion, which is a hint that he would buy some Bitcoins. It would seem that if we see all of these people purchasing Bitcoin, then that is exactly what we require, right? As said previously, Bitcoin needs to increase in order to earn all points to guys, which is a really great thing. But with this, the icing on the cake is complete. A whole new $10 trillion at a conference held in Brazil. BlackRock promotes Bitcoin to attendees. Please take a look at this. People, the new marketing staff has arrived. In light of this, you should question yourself why BlackRock continues to promote and market Bitcoin through advertisements. Exactly. Through the lens of a worldwide alternative to the monetary system, they want everyone to be involved in Bitcoin. In the long run, I wouldn't really put too much thinking into this, but in the short to medium term, I would give it some consideration nevertheless. Indeed, the price is going to go up. There has been a dramatic decrease in the purchasing power of the NAIX dollar throughout the course of time. Alright, it appears that this is a slide. Doesn't this look like a Bitcoin PowerPoint or a BlackRock slide, guys? Take note of this. BlackRock's iShares is this. You are aware that this content will be utilized solely at the Digital Assets Conference 2024 events that will take place on October 3rd, 2024. Appropriate. Therefore, this is what they are demonstrating to those who are wealthy. At the same time, they are demonstrating that the purchasing power of the United States of America has been falling at an exponentially decreasing rate. On the other hand, if you take a look at the chart of Bitcoin, you will notice that it has been about that, right? When compared to other global monetary alternatives, Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency that shares similar qualities with those of other cryptocurrencies. What are some of the other monetary alternatives that Bitcoin is comparable to? Bitcoin, on the other hand, has a fixed supply as compared to gold, which is just superior. Despite the fact that volatility is significant, it is likely that it will at some time in the future become less and less. Track record with a short amount of time. Once more, it is a problem, gentlemen. Take note of that. In the case of gold versus Bitcoin, long versus short. Yeah. Are you saying that we are going to take advantage of this move higher, men? Or at the very least, I am going to take advantage of it. The fact that this insane run is going higher is wonderful because it indicates that a lot of people will make gains, right? And taking everything into consideration, Bitcoin is a winner when compared to gold, right? If the track record was a lot longer, it would be even more so. Therefore, for the time being, folks, you should let them to continue advertising Bitcoin because they are going to pump our bags. Lovely in every way. Is it true that McDonald's is willing to accept Bitcoin? It appears to be going everywhere. You guys, this will be activated in every country in the near future. As a result, let's look into this. So, are you able to actually purchase? Bitcoin is accepted at McDonald's. Doesn't this constitute insanity? I mean, this is a true use case, people, but the problem is that I'm not attempting to criticize Bitcoin in any way through this. To tell you the truth, I adore Bitcoin. On the other hand, I am not attempting to purchase at $60-something thousand. These institutions are going to pump our bags, and I am aware of that fact. Nevertheless, I am not going to do that. I am going to wait till 1 to 3,000 Bitcoin. In this situation, the question that has to be answered is how long they will have to wait for it to be completed along with the transaction. It is obvious that it is unable to handle it on a large scale, right? On the other hand, we require people, and we require people to become crazy. That is the point, gentlemen. In order to defy till one day, we require everyone to join us in jumping ship and beginning to participate in Bitcoin from track buy. This is not the case at all. Although it is rumored that iPhone users can now send Bitcoin directly from the lock screen. Is this truly the case? It's hard for me to say whether or not this is entirely accurate. On the other hand, if that is the case, then that is just stunning. RFK Jr. has once again posted something positive. But I believe that the majority of Bitcoin users are aware that I was present, that I have a profound dedication to the cryptocurrency, and that I am aware of the connections that exist between Bitcoin and freedom, as well as personal freedom, self-sovereignty, property rights, and American ideals. This is the aspect of Bitcoin users that I admire the most. There is no point in accumulating a large pile for oneself and whoever passes away with the majority of the breezes. All that matters is that this is the ideal form of cash. In addition to being an off-road for inflation, it is a sophisticated and artistic approach to solving all of our national problems, including the national debt. The assault on liberties, the emergence of totalitarian systems, and the corruption of the government are all factors that have an impact on our balance of trade. Yes, this is the conclusion of everything. Because of the system's transparency and the fact that it cannot be manipulated, it is going to be decentralized for all time. This is likely to be the case because the worst government corruption is all over the place. It is a stunning work of art, and it ought to be a characteristic of the United States of America. But the majority of Bitcoin, in my opinion. The fact that they are all bullish is a wonderful beginning to the conversation. What is important to me is that the value of Bitcoin continues to rise. In that case, all I need is some Bitcoin to pump so that the entire season can be launched, and then I'll be out. As for the modders mentioned above, it is possible that this could occur here very soon, maybe in the fourth quarter of this quarter. As a side note, every single one of the 5 out of the last 6 months began with a gloomy outlook for the cryptocurrency markets, and each and every time we reached a bottom. It is expected that the bottom will be reached by the boys between now and October 6th during the first week of the month, which would then lead to recovery. I find this pattern to be quite peculiar. Always keep in mind that if you were able to recognize patterns, you have succeeded. When it comes to this reality, everything revolves on patterns, guys. As a result, he discovered something peculiar. At the beginning of each month, gentlemen, it is typically the date that Bitcoin is at its lowest point. This includes the 1st of May, the 5th of July, the 5th of August, the 6th of September, and right now. It's clinically bearish, contrary to what some people may believe, but have a look at what transpired following that. And do you know what makes it so fascinating? It consisted entirely of pumps. To add insult to injury, it was within this range. Why would someone do that? Given that this was within their capabilities, it would be the beginning of the parabola, guys, if we were able to break out of this range. Because we are in a range, it reverted back to its previous state after each time it pumped. Come on, folks, we can't get up here and then come back down. We have no choice except to abandon it. At the very least, it has been 7 to 8 months. A ridiculously high amount of time that has been spent bringing together, guys. This has a connection to the stock market because if the stock market is able to pump here soon, then pumps here soon in the future. After that, Bitcoin will, without a doubt, as well. The adds that we may honestly head towards low $60,000 to low $6,000, and that would indicate that the aim for Bitcoin is now between $115,000 and $120,000. We have already reached the bottom of my projection from November 2022, when the SP 500 was at $5,770. The price of Bitcoin is going to skyrocket during the final quarter of the year, but there is a limit to its growth. Take a look at that. To put it another way, that is what I am hoping, and this chart reveals everything. How come? Plan B is responsible for this. 90% of the time, Bitcoin is uninteresting, and at these times, the yellow boxes are the most interesting. Is it alright if all of the profit in Bitcoin is made in only 10% of the time at the red arrows? In addition, after experiencing a coincidence, it is always the case. I don't believe that to put it simply, the pump consolidates in this yellow box. The pump consolidates, and the pump consolidates once more to summarize. It is a fact that history has demonstrated that it is assured, men. Nothing can ever be certain, especially in the markets, but it is said that after we have finished with this time of consolidation, that is what is going to happen in the future, folks. Don't you think my heart is racing? I can't wait. That is what is going to happen very soon, 6 digits for Bitcoin. Truly, I am unable to wait. 1 month ago, in October of 2023, the price of Bitcoin fell by 7